My name is Francis Ofulu, saying welcome to Thursday's edition of the program, Morning Ride. It's good to have you out there. And with us in the house is somebody who is delectable and ready to express herself on state television. She's nobody but the alluring Elizabeth Ugochukwu.
Good morning, Francis. Good morning, Daltons. Good morning, Nigerians. I wonder why I'm not seeing myself.
Well, I wonder why too. Right here in the house is Elizabeth Ugochukwu, and for some reasons, our PD wants me to be the face of the program first.
Can you imagine?
Before we see the beautiful face of Elizabeth. So, once again, welcome Elizabeth Ugochukwu. It's good to have you right here.
Thank you so much, Francis Ofulbe. And good morning, Nigerians. Good morning, Daltons. I trust you are doing well this beautiful Thursday morning, the 23rd day in the month of October 2025. Welcome to our world of broadcast, where we give you the best of information, education, and entertainment. You're welcome again to Morning Ride.
Yes, you said that. Welcome again to Morning Ride. Now, this morning we have a package for you that will inform you, educate you, and maybe somehow entertain you. Because we have conversations that stems around youth, employment, and other conversations that even boils around politics this morning. When we talk about the political sphere of Nigeria, there's a lot to talk about, basically. You're looking at the issues that has started the week, perhaps the October 20 movement, protest here and there, whether it's about the Free Nnamdi Kanu now, or it's about the protest remembering the October 20 incident during the NSAS protest where Lekki Tollgate had its own feast. Well, the government said that nothing really happened, but people are still alleging that they lost loved ones. However the case may be, October 20 is symbolic to Nigerians, especially the young people out there. What are our lessons? How do we move forward? What are the things for us to grab after the whole back and forth about NSAS way back in 2020? Yeah. We're still having that conversation even 3 days after the commemoration of NSAS Progress 5 years anniversary.
Yeah, I think I saw a whole lot of video clips, especially in the FCT. Too many activities went down there in that area. I saw wheelbarrow pushers and Okada riders. They were on the street. In fact, there was a terrible road block on the street. Nobody was allowed to go forward or backward. People were making videos saying they were stuck on the road. They couldn't get to their places of business because they were chanting the Free Nnamdi Kanu song. And I was hoping that in the East it was going to be massive, but for FCT to have such great outputs concerning that incident, I want to believe he has more fans in the FCT. So,
well, it's a mix.
Yeah,
it's a mix.
But because compared to what I saw, on video, and I had to call one or two persons in Abuja, and they told me that, oh girl, I did not go anywhere, I don't even want to risk it, but when I called some persons back in the East, they said they went to their shops and the streets were calm, the road were calm, just that people really didn't come out on that very day. But the protest, like the road walk, was not really visible in the East. I was hoping it was going to be more in the East than in FCT, but however, whichever, I'm happy that there was no incident, no bad report from that walk, so everything went well.
Well, in fairness to the East, say that if you have been, let's say for instance, if every week you celebrate Christmas, for instance, every week, you do something about Christmas every week, on the 25th of December, you might be back, you might be relegated in terms of celebrating the so-called Christmas. Now, we notice that around the eastern area, every other Monday, there's sit at home that they observe there. Yeah. And I know now it has rescinded, but people are still observing it on a calm note. So, moving forward to October 20, it didn't seem to them like that was the point. And I could understand that it wasn't about them eventually, and that's debatable. Why am I saying this? Because basically, October 20 was to look at the NSAS protest and those lives that were probably allegedly lost at the Lekki Tollgate. And people have criticized Showore for turning the whole October 20 NSAS protest remembrance into a Free Nnamdi Kanu, albeit valid. It is seen as though, come on, this day is a special day to look at those who passed on allegedly during the NSAS protest. Fast forward to 5 years later, you're bringing up Nnamdi Kanu matter, which I said again is valid, but it looked like a distraction. I've said it on this set that 5 years ago, during the same NSAS protest, Omoloye Sowore was going to, I shouldn't use the word hijack the protest, but I'll say Omoloye Sowore was going to be part of the protest, be a big face of the protest by bringing up a term called Revolution Next, or Revolution X, whatever the name was, Revolution whatever. He brought up that name. And somehow along the line, Nigerians, those who were involved in the protest said, hey, this is not about you. It's about end SARS protest, end bad governance, end corruption. And so he was pushed away. There was no face. In fact, what made that protest one symbolic protest, that there was no face to the protest.
Yes, there was no face at all.
Sowore. 5 years later, same Sowore rises up again and turns it into a Free Nnamdi Kanu movement. Like I said, it is valid, but it is taking away the pains of that woman in Lagos, Lekki precisely, who took a bouquet to the Lekki toll gate. She was stopped by military personnel. Those people are talking about the children they lost, allegedly. I'm just saying that because the government has denied, although we had international reporters saying that happened actually.
Yes.
The government has kept on denying, so we are saying allegedly.
Yeah, okay.
And then the woman took a bouquet there, she was pushed away. That is not sensitive to that woman because people died that day. And one life is as important as another life.
Yes.
You know, the glorifying of a Messiah or a Savior looks good all the time. But what makes humanity important is how we value the life of each and every person, regardless of how or what they stand for. Except, of course, the person is the president and you are a security agent and you put your life ahead. But every civilian life matters that much, even the military or armed security lives. So that looks like why you didn't see the Easterners so, out there protesting or having placards, because they have been doing that all the while. Another argument or another thought again is that they might have been broken. And
also the fear too.
They might have been broken.
The fears,
after a while,
hijacked by some persons who do not mean well.
We heard, strong presence of military personnel. Yesterday I was, just trying to be entertained, and I was surfing through my film, trying to check comedies and skits. And I saw this funny skit about a comedian who said, who the police officers kept on telling him that they do a kidnapping case, case of armed robbery, and the police officer said no problems until he said there's a protest, and the man took his AK-47, took a big, said let's go, this is a big issue. Protest is bigger than kidnap. And that was a satire talking about how the body language of the security agencies in the country. We've been hearing about kidnapping.
Yes.
We said on this set that there's been 11,000 attacks so far in Nigeria since 2020. And we don't find the police force there trying to say, hey, let's stop this. But fast forward to NSAS protest remembrance. We found these security forces everywhere. In Asaba, I saw a beautiful wagon. Military personnel just moving past. I didn't know whether they were about that particular day. But Asaba could be chilled.
They didn't want anything
in the East, we saw on Facebook how they were moving around. And so there were military persons around everywhere. So that's what about it. I said, look,
because if you hoodlums were going to hijack it, I think that was their fear. That's why the military personnel came out en masse to stop whatever wrong would have gone or would have taken place. I think that's why they came out, not because they want to hurt anybody.
No, if you go to a very civilized country and you see one army personnel moving around with his gun, people are scared because that's camouflage. It's not to pretend. It means war. So when you see military personnel moving in their armored tanks around your locality, my sister, it means war. Go inside and hide. Do not say a word again. So they might not want to hurt anybody, but you see their stature, you see their disposition, you see their clothing. It tells a lot of stories. So you have to get indoors. I would not blame my brothers and sisters in the East. They have been moving around. They have been preaching for Free Nnamdi Kanu. And I want to say this here, that Nnamdi Kanu, since 2015, has been going back and forth in the court. June 21, he was brought in back on the watch office from Kenya. He's back in the country now. And what's happened? What are we seeing? Now that he's back in the country, we are seeing a situation where he has been there, tried and untried. Now we're having medical issues going on about the same Nnamdi Kanu Elizabeth. That makes a big question, like, what is going on? This man is being tried for a treasonable offense. So beyond what we're talking about, treasonable offense means that we should take action now. The man almost put the country in shatters. So let us have the court make their rulings as quick as possible. This back and forth is becoming confusing.
Yeah,
it's a big matter. It should be handled in court already. That's what I think.
Yeah, you're correct. But one thing is that I don't want to delve into Nnamdi Kanu's case because it is a bit complicated.
Yeah, very complicated.
Very, very complicated from where I stand and
Yes.
what I have read about it. So I really don't want to talk about it. Let's wait for the courts to decide.
No, I think what we should do is we'll take a break now. When we come back, we'll be looking at one man who will talk about everything that he sees or everything that we decide to talk about on the front
We'll talk
page.
about papers.
So we have with us Mr. Boni Akeze, a man that I have, forced a title on him, Professor Boni Akeze. He shall take over this state, and I shall torment him again with my forceful professorship on him. So stay tuned. We'll be back with Boni Akeze.
Alpha Delta people, in less than 22 months, Governor Borowori don show say im promise not be plenty talk with the full basket, not be cho with a more agenda, meaningful development, opportunity for all, realistic reforms, and enhanced peace and security. Progress don burst out everywhere. Im don upgrade over 500 roads, initiate over 300 new ones, and build plenty bridges wey dey connect our communities.
Every day when I dey preach here, my spirit dey jump, I'm already high because this bridge never tell for worship. This sheriff talk well. Julius Berger is the high. Sheriff, yes.
For education, over 3,000 teachers and support staff don join, and schools don dey get better shine.
I really want to say the government have done a good job providing us with these new buildings because we lack lecture or we are grateful to the government.
For the health sector, 1 billion naira, you dey hear wetin I dey talk? 1 billion naira don burst out our health insurance. Hospitals don dey get better modern equipment and new health colleges don open. Every day, changes dey happen for Delta State. For agriculture, 1 billion naira intervention fund dey help our farmers to produce better food. Make we not begin to dey talk about empowerment sef wey dey sup for the state. Sheriff don touch over 250,000 lives for the state.
Our administration is fully committed to what government expected to do for its people, which is to empower them to overcome the challenges of life, enable them to achieve their full means of happiness.
Everybody no go lack for his life, his generation no go lack. As he remember me, remember my daughter today, make God remember her. He go come again, we go see follow him again.
Our hard-working civil servants also dey enjoy support, and for our security agencies they don get 66 security vehicles when our governor don say make he enter the road, make he protect people for the street.
Thank you for the support that you have been giving to the police command and other security agencies in the state.
Nkodo just dey go round every sector to make sure say everywhere balash. Make una know say this one na proof say Governor Borowori dey talk the talk, he dey do the work, and na man wey dey win award sef up and down.
We are giving you this awards as the most all-inclusive governor of the year 2025.
This na sign say im dey bring hope and progress for every corner for Delta State. Make we join hand celebrate our leader wey truly dey make Delta State dey shine. The work never finish o, we go continue to dey do more.
Morning Ride, Thursday's edition right here on Delta Television, The People's Pride. And I told you earlier on it's about time for us to talk to the man who review headlines on the papers this morning. We've got many papers to look at. The Punch newspaper, the Vanguard, lots of them. But I'll start first with the Punch newspaper. And we have on the Punch newspaper, the headline here, which says, ISWAP threats, Southwest, North Central states on high alert. ISWAP threat, Southwest, North Central states on high alert. And on business, the Punch newspaper captures this, says Nigeria imports 15 billion liters of petrol despite Dangote refinery output. Electoral reforms, Senate pushes INEC to defend election results. That should be high time. And on Metro Plus says stray bullet kills tricycle rider outside Lagos brothel. So the latest news stories here: Lagos moves to close old dump sites, strengthen waste management. Obama honors Fela Kuti in new podcast Fear No Man. But there is this sad story. It's pictorial on the Punch newspaper. Says Niger buries tanker explosion victims, offers survivors free treatment. All right, these are some of the stories making the headline this morning on the Punch newspaper. ISWAP threats, Southwest, North Central states on high alert. And we keep on going through this terrorism issue every now and then. It's quite baffling, really. Okay, let's get back to the house now. Right here with us is a man that I've bestowed upon the title of Professor, but that he likes it or not. Yes. Oh yes, I like that. So let's get him correct to the house. We are very uncomfortable when I do this, but you would prove again, as you always do, while I bestowed that title. It's good to have you again, Mr. Boniakeze.
Thank you, Francis.
Good to have you.
My pleasure.
Good morning.
Yes.
Good morning.
Yeah.
So, ISWAP threats, Southwest, North Central states on high alert. They are on high alert right now because of ISWAP threat, and we're still right here. Terrorism has still continued to terrify Nigerians, really, and we're still talking about ISWAP threat till this point in time. Mr. Bonnie.
Yeah, it's the issue of terrorism. It's a global thing, but the difference is the state's response. How different states respond to it. You cannot say that the Nigerian state is not doing anything. So what we'll be asking is what is left to be done, because this thing has persisted. You know, when a particular issue, there's a particular problem persists in society, different questions begin to arise as to the authorities that are supposed to tackle it. To what, it's just like the issue of the strike by university about academic institution unions. You know, it's been recurring and, you know, being a recurring eczema.
Yes.
So the question would be, what is left to be done? So I think because it's every other thing, everything is, that's why the popular reason that the primary purpose of government is the protection of life and property. Once that is not effective, and you know, every other thing is just getting on. So I think why we appreciate our armed forces and those who are on the line of, you know, for the what they are doing. I think the political leadership need to also take some steps, you know, take some steps that we really yield greater results than we are seeing.
All right, thank you so much, Onyeka. Still on the Punch newspaper this morning. I'm sure you guys check up on that newspaper. We have Nigeria imports 15 billion liters of petrol despite Dangote refinery output. Now, the story here reads that despite increased refining capacity, Nigeria imported 69% of the 1 billion liters of petrol it consumed between August last year and the first 10 days of October this year. That's according to data from the NNDPRA. That's a report from the Punch newspaper. Now that makes us wonder, really. Dangote refinery is here. We thought that was the answer to all our prayers, really. But up until now, we are doing importation. 21 billion liters of petrol is consumed. We still are importing. So Dangote didn't answer our prayers, did it?
Okay, the question you ask, the federal government of Nigeria has 4 refineries, 2 in Port Harcourt, 1 in Warri, 1 in Kaduna. What is the state of those refineries? Why has those refineries not been able, you know, to bridge the supply gap? That is the big question. That is the big question. A country like Nigeria that is so endowed with crude oil, which is the raw material for PMS, I've continued to face this quagmire over availability of product locally. So it is an issue, you know, that I've said on this side before, that the issue of NNPC and this thing is what I don't like talking about, because I don't know. Only God will save Nigeria.
Nigerians. Okay.
We'll talk about the Dangote refineries. Yeah, we knew when it was coming on board, because in this country, disclosure on things that affect the issues of the economy, they're highly limited. We have run a very opaque system, you know, and if you ask ordinarily what you would have taken as a given, if you ask so much, quote unquote, so much, you become an enemy of whoever is in power and his followers. So it is really very unfortunate that this is the state what we have.
Okay.
It's quite sad. I think that's all we shall take on the Punch newspaper. We can check it on that paper.
Let's look at the Vanguard newspaper. It's the screaming story says, insecurity, defend yourselves. Governor Bago charges Niger residents. And we also have Aliko Dangote plans to sell 10% stake in refinery on NGX. We have this story again, defectors will face their end in 2027. And then finally, no enemy can come between us, Governor Yusuf tells Kwankwaso. So, my question now is on this insecurity. Governor Bago rather, charging Niger residents to defend themselves. How? With what? How can they defend? Is it that every one of them should join the military, or they should be allowed to carry arms at home?
Okay, no. First of all, naturally, self-preservation is the first law of nature. And to that extent, even the Constitution guarantees your right to self-defense in certain circumstances. So, you don't need to be told that you have to defend yourself. Defending oneself is not only about taking up of arms. If you look at, if you cast your mind back, our communities, even the way we built houses were a kind of defense mechanisms, because we lived in clusters. You know, we lived in clusters, so we didn't isolate our compounds from each one another. That in itself is a security mechanism.
The cluster way of building.
Yes, that is in itself so. Today, we think that what would I call it? We call it civilization, that we are getting developed, quote unquote. That is where now everybody lives in enclosures, war. That people even live in the same compound, fenced. They don't even know each one another. You know.
Yes.
Okay.
It is your mind, your business. It is, you know.
I understand, Mr. Boni, but I want you to get where I'm coming from now. Just hold on.
Okay.
Let me take one line of what he said.
Yes.
Governor Mohammed Bago of Niger State has vowed never to negotiate with bandits or pay ransom for kidnapped victims, saying instead residents must be prepared to defend themselves against attacks.
Yes.
And we are talking about bandits.
Yes, I'm coming. When I was younger, when we were in school, each time we come back from school, because when they're talking of vigilante now, the way they're doing it, as if they talk about it as if it is new. It is new. It's not new.
Yeah.
It has always been there, right from my secondary school days
To this moment.
in the 80s to my university days in the 90s. When we come home, we still go to join our community vigilante guard. We had groups that, but just at that time it was only in the night. Even earlier than, before even that time, there were both night and day. There were community persons who were vigilantes. These vigilantes, they were not carrying guns, but they were like intelligence officers.
They have belts
Yeah.
too. They could just ring the bells.
They don't even carry anything, but anything, bam, the palace must know.
Yes.
If no matter where you whisper, and it is a threat to peace, and the palace must hear. I grew up I'm a part of my community royalty. I know how, the community was being managed. So if we go back, you see, a lot of things we need to, if we want to rebuild this country, we need to ask ourselves where we are coming from. We need to tell ourselves that we cannot copy, we cannot continue to copy and imitate and think we are going to get things right. There are certain things we must go and rediscover whom we are truly. When we do that, let me give you an example. If you do the history of Europe, you see there was Europe that the Reformation, the Reformation triggered the emergence of the Europe as we have it today. The Reformation changed the way people reason, changed everything about it, and that what followed, institutions were reformed, different, and you saw society emerge into a new era.
Okay.
Until until we do that, this thing is going to continue. We are going to continue in this rigmarole.
Rigmarole.
Okay. Okay. So somehow we have to return to the old ways. The old ways.
There are things you. It's not just returning from old ways. There is. See, let me tell you. Change is constant. You know, but there must continue to be interaction of opposite. There must be continue to be syntaxes. You know, you look at, you know, there are things you don't throw away completely. You reform them. There are things you do away with completely because something that is adequate to replace them. As you know, you say what that ancient prayer? He said, from the cowardice that shrinks in the face of new truth, from the laziness that is content with half truth, and which other one that he said it? He said, on these things, oh God, save us. He said, from the ignorance that thinks he knows all the truth, oh God, deliver us. There are things that we need to be delivered from. The cowardice that shrinks from the evidence of new truth, the ignorance that thinks that it knows it all, the laziness that is always content with half truth. This very one, laziness that is content with, we need to put up our thinking cap and be bold enough to face what is confronting us. Confront what is confronting us.
Do you think not agreeing to pay ransom to these bandits is actually a way of stopping their act? Because for this governor to say he is not going to pay any ransom to bandits and we should learn how to protect ourselves, you know. You talked about those living in, let's say, a community, building their houses close to each other in order to get alert on what is coming forth, you know. But what about people plying the roads? What about motorists? How do they safeguard themselves from these attacks?
So, you see, yes, this issue is a complex issue. But it's not as complex as that it cannot be dealt with.
Okay.
You ask of the issue of not paying ransom to bandits or kidnappers. It is contextual.
Okay.
You know, so it is a topic for a very, very hot debate because it will have to be looked at from different point of view, from different perspectives. That's why I say it's highly, you know. But the one I cannot comprehend is the one of negotiating with bandits. Because as far as I understand the law, banditry is a criminal act. So, if you must negotiate with one criminal, which means you are going to negotiate with all criminals.
All criminals, yeah. That's true.
That is so. I stand to be contradicted. I cannot find the rationale. I cannot comprehend why it should be
government negotiation.
Government negotiating with bandits.
Do you think they took a cue from?
It is. I think the option is that government should take the war to them.
Do you think that they took a cue from the amnesty program during the Yar'Adua era when he was president of the country, and he decided to stop the militants by asking for amnesty negotiation? They dropped their arms, and the crisis in Niger Delta really.
See, it is not. You don't situate.
Is that
they don't situate it within the same context. What were the militants agitating for? Or what did they rise against? environmental degradation in the Niger Delta.
Okay.
Their cause was explicit. Environmental degradation in the Niger Delta. Exclusion from the benefit of the natural endowment in the environment.
Okay.
It is clear.
Yeah.
It is an issue that you can come to table to discuss.
All right.
So what are you going to come to table to discuss that you adopt fellow human beings and said until they give you money you will not let them go? That you so what are you going to negotiate?
So no negotiation for bandits. Get them, take the war to them, and let's put an end
So
to
I don't
bandits.
understand, unless we were given those who are experts in security will come and give us fitting rationalization why that should be a solution. I've listened to many security experts speak on this, and I have not seen any real professional. I remember the last man, I've forgotten his name now, I listened to, when he was trying to redefine the true meaning of kinetic and non-kinetic approaches to issues, so that people should not make non-kinetic approach look like that you have to pet criminals. If you do that to a large extent, you are going to glamorize. You know, human beings by nature we thrive on incentives. We thrive on incentive. Anything there is incentive for, man will go for it. You know, so you should be careful. You should be careful not to. We should be careful not to create incentive for them. Like the other day, I was in Abuja. We were discussing on a panel, fund of empowerment. I think very good. It's good to those social security safety nets. But please, I know that the issue of giving to widows is biblical. It's in the Quran and the religion. But put it in context of the political economy of the time that it was written. It does not take only widowhood to be an indigent woman. So such empowerment should be directed at indigent women, because there are women who are so indigent, but they are not widows.
This is why I say Professor Bonnie Akeze, because somehow along the line, when we go on these conversations, we go on different areas. Now we're talking about even the indigent widows, and that's a big debate actually that people have not looked into the sensitivity therein. We've not paid attention to it before we begin to pay people for losing their husband, and somebody kills their husband to collect money after all. Men need to be safe.
So
thank you so much.
Thank you. So we don't create Cobra effect.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's true.
Mr. Bonnie Akeze, I call him Professor Bonnie Akeze, and you just found out why. Because he breaks down the issues and brings other issues that we should talk about.
And he's standing with Captain Bago as well.
In fact, yes, he said protect yourselves. Let's go back to the old ways, but at the same time, let's be innovative about what we are doing.
Yeah, we have to assist the security agency. But security, that assistance will come when also people are confident that when they give information, it will not come back to haunt them. Because it is also a factor.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
When we come back, our interview segment begins. Perhaps we might even have some of these things that we've talked about spiking into our interview segment. But if you stay tuned, you'll find out our conversation only on Delta Television, the People's Pride. We'll be back shortly.
Borewori government, they do numerous projects. And it still they go on to they approve new projects. And it not still they borrow money. Think calm.
No be lie. Delta government just approved projects worth 230 billion.
Governor Borewori understand say when good road network dey, it dey help the economy to dey robust. Even individual businesses could thrive. Both transportations.
I hear say Governor Borewori don approve Agbo flyover 59 billion.
Yes, I hear am.
And flyover for Ogeli Batani Highway for Otowodo Junction. Also, Sapele Dual Carriage 35 billion.
Yes, I dey aware.
Wait till Oga Friday. I hear say all these road constructions wey dey go on for Delta State na across the 3 senatorial districts.
Now everywhere. Why you ask?
I hear say Governor Sheriff dey do road for Isoko Nation.
Governor Sheriff, they do numerous roads there. Don't forget say Governor Sheriff don't complete Emefor Road Phase 1. As for the talk, so Phase 2 dey in progress. Governor Sheriff don't do Utekpo Road for Elu. Also for that Elu, construction of Arada Road still dey in progress. Governor Sheriff, they do road for Emede. He still they do for Olomo Road, Igide Road. Also, 3 internal roads for Ideheze community. Construction of bridge dey in progress for Asaba Ase. And this Asaba Ase bridge, when it dey completed, it will connect Uzere for Isoko South to Asaba Ase for Ilopa East.
Don't do. Governor Sheriff more agenda. Na really matter. Governor Sheriff came prepared to govern with excellence. Brought to you by Delta State Ministry of Information. With the apple.
Now my cousin brother, he visit Sapele recently. He say he's surprised wetin I see. Say true when he dey hear say Governor Sheriff dey work for the 25 local governments, saying be dey get doubts. But he don find out say everywhere when he travel go, he get one project or the other when Governor Sheriff dey do. He recently enter Sapele. He see and say Governor Sheriff don construct Major Bowen Road from Okpe Road to New Ogorode Road.
And even construction dey in progress for Uko Road from Benin Road through Otuedo. Even for Old Sapele Wari Road from Amukpe Junction to Ikwewu community, construction still in progress.
For this same Sapele so?
Yes, for Sapele.
Me, I hear say Governor Sheriff don't do Sapele Wari Road to Gamon Bridge.
For Sapele so?
Yes, now.
Now my brother dey talk. Say Governor Sheriff don't do Ororo, Chester and Benjamin Osaregbaje Road.
Me, I hear say the road where Governor Sheriff dey construct for Benin Road from Green Ekpedi Road for Lipia to Abeke Road, saying go soon complete am. Yes, sir.
Governor Sheriff,
I hear am.
as if they do infrastructures everywhere, now so you see they do human empowerment.
Governor Sheriff Borewori don train and empower over 250,000 youths across this state.
Delta Cares Fadama don't distribute agricultural inputs to farmers for Oko Ogbele community for Oshimili South.
To farmers o.
Wetin you dey think like that?
Abi make I change career.
You get long way to go. Governor Sheriff projects na real matter. Brought to you by Delta State Ministry of Information.
Brought to you by Ministry of Information. Delta from glory to glory.
Mama Rukewe, what do you want to so?
I want throw it dirty inside gutter. Water go carry am flow go.
No, now throw it dirty where?
Government go take care of that one now.
Who be the government? Now me and you?
No be Governor Sheriff.
For some months now, Delta State government don't they go around they clear drainages so that water go they get free flow. And now our responsibility not to block waterways.
Delta, make we keep Delta clean. I see better for you and me. One love, not throw it dirty for streets.
True, Delta government they do so much to protect Delta from flooding. Some days ago, for Anwen River, Delta government remove silt, debris, substances when they block flow of water, also deepen the water channels to prevent flooding. Now I know why.
Make you and I get Delta.
Because Sheriff they do stormwater drainages.
I see the better for you and
for
me.
different areas
My
for the
love,
states.
not throw away that thing for God.
Our governor Sheriff, he dey create systems so that flooding no go affect our daily living for Delta State. No forget say where water dey gather, mosquitoes dey gather and it dey lead to malaria. Make we support our government and making sure say waterways dey free so that even our roads go last for us.
Delta,
Keep the Delta cleanery
make
matter.
we keep Delta
Brought to
clean.
you by Delta State Ministry of Information.
I see better for you and me. One love, not throw away that thing for street.
to Thursday's edition of Morning Ride. Today's conversation focuses on a subject that lies at the heart of democratic leadership, the media and good governance. And doing justice to this topic is no other than the Executive Assistant to the Governor on Media, who is no other than Dr. Nelson Ekwari. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
How are you doing this cold morning?
Thank you.
How is everything going?
Fantastic.
Beautiful.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. Well, I will be discussing the role of the media in good governance. So I'd like to start from this question now. From your perspective, how does the media contribute to promoting good governance, most especially in Delta State?
Well, the media being the fourth estate of government, saddled with the responsibility of putting the rest arms of government in check. We have the executive, the legislature, and of course the judiciary. Then the media is the fourth estate, and it's saddled with that responsibility of putting all of these arms of government in check in terms of setting agenda and also bringing to the fore the needs of the people, the communities, and of course in the country, all over the world. So the media plays a very vital role in ensuring good governance across the world.
So you talked about the media serving as a check on a different aspect of the society. What strategies has the governor's office adopted to ensuring transparency
Sheriff Oborori-led administration has appointed key media officials to ensure that every information of government is taken to the people, so that people will be aware of what government is doing. Now, at the helm of that machinery, that information machinery, is the Honorable Commissioner for Information. We have the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor. Then we have other aides to the Governor who helps to ensure that such messages, such information of government activities are carried out to the people to ensure that they are aware of what government is doing and all of that. Over time, we do that through press releases, through press statements and what have you. Most times when the ESCO meets, after the meeting of the ESCO, there's usually a closed ESCO briefing, which they go ahead to inform the people through the media the resolutions taken at that ESCO. And from there, people will be aware that, okay, a road in my community, for instance, has just been approved, and then the people will rejoice. But perhaps the one from Olomoro to Ibide is also has also been approved. Then that gives the people there a kind of it elicits some feeling of joy among the people. So the media has done quite a lot in setting the agenda in terms of putting government in check, which I said earlier. They bring the needs of people from the grassroots to the government, while the government also brings information of what they have done to the people through the media as well. So the media is an intermediary between the government and the people.
Okay, so what mechanisms have been put in place to ensure that the public whom your office serves, receives timely and factual information about the project of government and the policies of the government?
Yes, the office of the governor has an official called the Executive Assistant to the Governor on public enlightenment, policies and projects. The person of Mr. Wilson Ojika, who was Chief President of the Middle Class Government Family Corps. That office is saddled with the responsibility of informing the masses of programs and policies as well as projects. Now, aside that one, we also have the Office of the Chief Press Secretary, whose duty is to communicate information from the Office of the Governor. The activities of the Governor is handled by his office in terms of media-wise. Now, he coordinates all the entire media needs to the Governor, while the Information Commissioner is the head of information machinery. Now, we also have the Director General of Orientations, that's Dr. Fred Latino, who also does a lot in educating the masses on what government is doing in every sector of government. So a lot of mechanisms are in place for timely releases of information and all that. It does not take, in this electronic age, government information is tried. That's what I describe it.
Well, you talked about transparency at the beginning, which is a beautiful one. The government being transparent to the masses and using the media to convey the virtue of transparency when it carries out its policies and projects. Well, in having access to information and, of course, government transparency, how does your office handle situations where sensitive information must be managed without compromising the tenet of transparency?
The Freedom of Information Act is there to guide everyone. And in government, in managing government information, it takes quite an experience to do that, because it is not everything that that happens in government that should be reported outside. There are things to manage that will not bring something like a instruction or what we call a service to the government or to the people. There are things that probably an official may say or do that if you communicate it out there, it will boomerang. So such information are managed. So talking about transparency, yes, you can be transparent to the extent that you do not jeopardize the system.
So on the social media, the advent of the social media in existence now, it has made information to spread like wildfire, in the sense that if you put something up on social media, before you know it, before let's say in the next 20 minutes, someone from even outside the country could even call you to confirm, where did this happen, what did this happen, you get. So the next question I'm going to be asking is, what role do things like press briefing, media releases, and of course, social media updates placed side by side with all of these things, what role do they all play in maintaining an open government communication with the people that is not biased?
Now, the advent of the social media actually nationalized information of government and the entire world. Okay, the social media acts as a faster means of communicating to the people. Like you rightly mentioned, if you use the print media, people outside the country will not see it, right? If you use the local television stations, those outside will not see it. Even if you use the national media, those outside may not also see it. But if you put it on social media, they will see it all over the world. So the social media is a vital information machinery for government and stakeholders. And to buttress the importance of that social media to government information machinery, we have a series of appointees handling that aspect of information management for government, and it's been paying off effectively through our various media handles and of course the state website.
So I want to call your attention to another aspect of media and communication. That's talking about press freedom and responsible journalism. Now, how does the Delta State government promote press freedom while also at the same time ensuring that citizens are encouraged to carry out responsible journalism?
Yes, as a government, we do not work for propaganda. And so, if you don't work along that line, that trajectory of propaganda, you will not also encourage any citizen or journalist to thrive in that direction. So, as a government, we ensure that the facts are always put out for people. So for us, it is not a good thing. We don't associate with that kind of journalism. We do not associate with that. So we promote transparency and of course accountability by dishing out only information that are correct, irrespective of what government is doing or has done. So we will not promote irresponsible communication as a government. It is not our thought at all.
Also looking still at freedom of press and responsible let's say investigative reporting that questions the actions of the state.
As long as that investigation is correct, we take it as information available. We do not have anything against any journalist that brings information that is true. All right? Whether it is negative or not, as long as the information is true, the government takes it as a tool to better governance.
So in encouraging public engagement and ensuring there is civic participation, how does the media help drive civic participation, or how does your office actually help the media to drive civic participation and community feedback on government programs, most especially looking at activities that are done in the rural or hard-to-reach areas of the states?
Well, we all of us we all have our social media handles, and when we post government information on those handles, citizens engage, they ask questions, and we provide answers. So once that is done, then we are assisted in ensuring a civic engagement in government. So,
but you know that it's not everybody in the rural area that have access to the social media platform. So how do you get to these people that don't have a social media platform that are also situated in these hard-to-reach rural areas?
well, those areas are mainly handled by the Office of that is the Orientation Bureau. Their duty is to, especially during this flood era, for them, they go out to those areas to educate the people on the need to evacuate, the need to move to higher grounds, and all of that. So, if they don't have social media handles, that department goes to them to give them information.
So they go directly to these hard-to-reach areas to sensitize them.
Oh, yeah. And then again, in those days, we used to have what we call town criers. Yes, so I don't know if they still exist in the villages. Growing up, that was the means of passing information. Once the community head is informed, the community head will now call the town crier, who goes around to all the streets to make the announcement that so something is going to take place and what are doing. So, but that's I'm sure it still happens in most villages. But now that we have WhatsApp, all right, for every phone that is connected to network, has access to WhatsApp. So all of those community groups, we have WhatsApp pages and all of that where information goes to. So that's another means of reaching out to those hard to reach areas. Yes.
So in looking at media challenges in governance, how has your office addressed issues of, let's say, fake news, misinformation, or politically motivated narratives in the state? And secondly, what challenges do your office face in aligning media coverage with the goals of good governance, most especially in a politically diverse environment?
Well, we are open. As a government, we are open. We do not restrict coverage of government activities. Then, of course, talking about issues of fake news, misinformation, and all of that, all we needed to do is to just set the narratives correctly. We inform the people that this one is not true. This is the position of things. This is the state of issues that we are talking about here. And of course, once the misinformation is put out there, it's our duty to correct it, to set the right narrative.
Great. We talked about the advent of social media and how it has helped in the speedy transfer of information. Now, with the rise of the social media alongside the digital media, how is your office currently adapting to the changing media landscape?
We are not adapting because we are already
used to the system.
Yeah, we are used to it. Over time, in fact, since 2011, over time, then social media gained traction in governance and Delta State. Players in that field, and so there's nothing new for us to adapt. We're already engaging in it, and it's paying off seriously.
So currently in Delta State, are there any state-led digital platforms or tools that are aimed at enhancing citizen engagement and transparency, most especially when it comes to news reportage, since everybody is a mini journalist, if I should put it like that, because of the social media?
Well, there is nothing restricting anybody from reporting, especially in the environment. Nowadays, it is called citizens journalism. Once you have the good zone, you can, of course, citizen journalism, and so you report activities as it were in your area. You see that some of these videos that go viral, especially when it has to do with security people trying to harass citizens. You saw that one that has to do with indecent dressing, and so somebody filmed it and reported it in social media. So with that kind of action, people now learn to behave well in public, because anybody can take on them, anybody can report them, and do not turn out well. So once you have a good phone and a good camera, certainly all you needed to do was take a video or picture and then post it, and before you know it goes viral. So there's no goes back as far as citizen journalism is concerned.
Right. So in looking ahead, what are the future plans for strengthening the relationship between the media and the government so that we can serve things better?
Well, in Delta, we have a very robust partnership with the media. Like I said earlier, those offices that governor created, those appointments at various strata of information management system will relate with journalists across the state and country, not just within the state alone. There are some journalists, there are some editors that will relate with outside the state. Because if you send your news, for instance, after writing your press release and all that, sometimes the man here, the reporter here, may do his best, may send the story, and then the editor in either Lagos or Abuja may not be disposed to use the story. So sometimes you also need to liaise.
One girl went to see a dream, and the woman that offended me, that they wanted to add more time, that your time has almost finished.
Yeah, let's go on. There's some controversy.
Yeah, from where?
One of the beauties about life is the young people. The young people are the ones who make the world go round. After all, they say the young are the future of tomorrow. In Nigeria, we have a population of more young people, and if we want to make this country work, then the youth must indeed have a pleasant place to stay and grow. In that order, we can end insecurity and any other kind of warfare that bedevils the country. This morning, we have a very strong conversation. It's on de-radicalization of youth in Nigeria. I believe that the youths are peaceful, but then sometimes when you don't have anything to do, an idle man remains the devil's workshop. There's a man who has wings right now, feathers of an angel. He is going to help us do a conversation as regards this issue, youth detribalization in the country. Well, he's one who has crossed several parts. Right now, he's the one involved in YEDAP. It's a youth empowerment program designed to empower millions of Nigerian young people. Earlier, I thought 6 million, but before we came on set, he told me over 20 million people are going to be empowered. This morning, the man who is guilty as charged of a great move to save the youths in Nigeria is no other person but Mr. Iyere Kennedy. I hope I got it right. Yes, Mr. Kennedy Iyere. I got it right.
Thank you.
Right here. The man wearing the hat with the big hat to save the young people in Nigeria. Good to have you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Now, earlier on, before you came on set, I thought it was, my search led me to something called Knee Deep. I was struggling to pronounce the name. And then you told me it was YEDAP. So that was my first confusion. And I like to handle confusions immediately I come on set. So explain to me what this NADEP, how NADEP turned to YEDAP and what YEDAP means and what YEDAP meant. Oh, I'm confused.
Thank you so much. I will do a proper introduction of myself.
All right.
I know a lot of people know my face. Mm-hmm. If you watch TV, if you have an Android phone, or you surf the internet, you must know who the name Comrade Kennedy Iyere is. I am a humanitarian activist, a philanthropian, a welfare advocate, and a justice crusader. Going back to the difference between need and yield.
Yeah.
Well, on the 31st of October 2024, an intervention, a youth economic scheme was launched on the floor of the Nigerian Senate. Senate Room 107, and it was called NEED, Nigerian Youth Economic Engagement and De-Radicalization Program. That is NEED. It was a collaboration among the Federal Ministry of Youth Development, the Nigerian Senate, and Youth of the Street Initiative, my NGO. The Honorable Minister came to the Senate, and on the floor of the Senate, that intervention was launched. After it became launched, of course, you know, some human elements within the Senate wanted to colonize the intervention scheme. Then it brought about a disagreement between myself, my group, the civil society, and the Senate.
Okay.
That turbulence took months.
Okay.
And for some reasons, we have decided not to just reveal. We opted out to remove the Nigerian Senate and made it a pure program driven by the executive arm of government.
Executive arm of government?
Yes.
Okay.
The Federal Ministry of Youth.
So this is part of the Renewed Hope agenda, is it?
Yes. When we detach the Senate from the collaboration, we have to rename from need to yield. That was how, on the 5th of February 2025,
this year,
it was renamed Youth Economic Intervention and De-Radicalization Program.
Oh, right.
Okay.
And then the minister, actually, we released a statement. It went viral because between the time we changed the name, NEEDEP had already been entrenched, you know, as a name that has come to liberate the youths from economic quagmire.
Okay.
But UDEP is about to do the same thing anyway.
It's the same mandate.
We're right.
Okay.
The same mandate.
Okay. So when we talk about de-radicalization, that word is a big word, but I want you to break it down for us. What exactly does it mean, and why is it important in Nigeria or to the Nigerian youths?
Let me tell you something you need to know. If you don't know the origin of a scheme, you may not appreciate the value it gives. I did not support President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. During the campaign, I was his biggest opposition. When you talk of Peter Obi, I principally influenced his involvement first in the election.
Okay.
And I was the precursor of the Obedient Movement. I formed the 40 million ballots. You can use your Google. That was the engine room that powered the Obedient Movement. So today you see a lot of people who jumped into the van, now claiming so many things. We were the people. In fact, I principally, together with Dr. Tanko Yunusa, the man who today is his spokesperson and the national chairman of the Obedient Movement, we formed that. And then during the campaign period, of course, you knew the influence we commanded, we controlled. We actually gave a very tough fight to other parties, of course, coming from the people. And then we didn't believe the president won the election. I was part of those who believe he didn't win. I was part of those who believed the election was rigged. I was part of those, even during the court process, we were still hoping that it would be overturned. But again, it never happened that way. But the reality is this.
whichever way we may have certain things about the verdict of the Supreme Court that we didn't find, acceptable to us. The reality remains that a president has been confirmed.
Yes.
And he must be there for 4 years.
So now
if you want the president out, you have to wait till 2027 and use the ballot to remove him. But as you could, we progress with time, it turned out that a protest occurred, the End Bad Governance protest.
Yes.
That protest was so overwhelming that the government was actually bamboozled and stressed to its limit.
That was during the...
Yes, August, no, it was after, no. End Bad Governance was after Tinubu.
Okay.
President Tinubu, remember after the removal of fuel subsidy,
yes,
and the hardship that followed. So
yes, all
right.
There's a group called Take It Back Movement.
Okay.
They used to be part of us at the Obedience, within the Obedient Network somehow.
Okay.
And then you remember at a certain point the thing was so threatening to the extent that people were raising up Russian flags in Kano.
Yes.
Then the federal government reached out to me.
Okay.
So I'm trying to tell you now, the federal government reached out to me for intervention. You see, there's something you must know. Every group you see, there are people behind those groups, there are people they listen to.
Okay.
Government was proactive enough, they reached out to me and they sent, I had a conversation with the current minister, then he was the Minister of State. Then we had a woman who was the substantive minister, he was the junior minister. Long story cut short, he made a statement to me that, look, hey, comrade, you need to support me in this. I am the only youth who has ever been appointed a youth minister. And that's true. Presidents before this president will give us 50-something years old, 48 years old as youth minister. This man became a youth minister, I think at 33 or 34. Okay. It actually touched my heart. So we had a meeting in Owerri. And that meeting actually compelled me to provide intervention. I intervened and the thing stopped. When that protest stopped, because I had to reach out to some names I know, you know, of course now, come stop this. We need to not burn this country now.
Okay.
And then from that point, the federal government realized the fact that I am a viable tool for economic stability, for political stability. That the youths listen to me and I have the influence all across. And then subsequent engagements, I approached the federal government and I said, look, hey, the reality of hunger, the reality of unemployment, the reality of economic hardship that has gotten to its chronic stage, these realities are obvious, they cannot be denied.
Yes.
If you don't want incessant or periodic or frequent anti-government youth upheavals, you must design a program of empowerment that will give them a sense of economic involvement. If you don't give them the opportunity or the platform to participate in the economy, they will participate in crime and criminality. It will come every other time somebody is able to say, I have 1 million for you, they will hit the street. And listen, what I respect the federal government for, because people are asking me, how come you were the precursor of the obedient movement, you were the biggest ally of Peter Obi, come on, how come you accepted an appointment from the President Tinubu? I said, no, I did not take up an appointment from him. If a man I never supported, a man I fought so overwhelmingly, and I resisted the emergence, the actualization of his mandate at a point that recognized my strength and my power. And he decided to give me the listening ears when I made suggestion. Why won't I listen to him?
Yeah.
So now, the subsequent conversations we had, based on the fact that the federal government listened to me, the conclusion of all those led to the creation of the Youth Economic Intervention and De-Radicalization Program. From the name, you see it. To de-radicalize them, you must give them an economic platform to be self-engaged economically. Yeah. So the mandate is to provide the youth of Nigeria with the financing and the business development assistance required to create jobs for themselves and become self-employed. The reality is that just like you have elsewhere on it, government is never able to provide jobs enough. No government. The US government, I'm a well-traveled person. I've been to 77 countries across 5 continents. I have never seen a country where the government employ more than the private sector. What they have there that we do not have here is that over there, government creates the enabling environment that makes the private sector to succeed with ease, because such will now help them to grow at a very rapid rate and employ more people. That's why, for example, when the level of hard work we employ here in Nigeria, if we have opportunities or climate or environment or atmosphere that are enabling, I'm sure the private sector would be able to solve unemployment, especially chronic youth unemployment like exists today in this country.
All right, I would be tempted to talk about the whole Peter Obi movement, but I'm going to focus on this conversation, which is the radicalization of youths in Nigeria. And you have mentioned that you were called, maybe that End Bad Governance protest came and people were flying Russian flags and the rest of them. Have you succeeded so far?
Yes.
Basically, if we look at the fact that just on Monday, October 20, there were protests here and there, and there were police officers here, the same youths were the ones who had the time to go protest. How far?
Let me just answer you. I was in Abuja on that day. I was with the relevant security agencies also that Monday. Let me tell you, before now, that protest would have taken a dimension higher than what you experienced that day. How many people came out from Ebonyi? How many people came out from Anambra? How many people came out from Enugu? How many people came out from Abia? How many people came out from Imo? Have you asked yourself, why did they not come out?
Was that a result of social security or the presence of many armed forces who stopped them from protesting?
No.
Go ahead.
There is a program we have put or placed before them. YEDEP. All these states I have mentioned, there is none of these states we don't have over 150,000 people that have registered.
For the program.
For this program. Look, the agenda of this government is to renew hope. I want to reiterate it here that I'm not here to speak for the APC. I am not a member of the APC. I'm not supporting the APC. I'm not supporting the PDP. I'm not supporting any political party. I am here for the masses of our people, the youth and young women who are politically excluded and economically excluded, without platform for them to be able to actualize themselves and achieve what we call economic self-emancipation. They are the people I'm here for. The reality of the severe hunger we have today, that in a country today as we have it, where a substandard meal, is even a luxury to most families, millions of families. Those children crying everywhere, the hopeless people, the pregnant woman who is still hungry, children who are, mothers who are breastfeeding, the babies are sucking their breast milk, and at the same time the babies are still hungry because there is no content, no food. Those are the people I'm for. Listen, the truth of the matter is that the Renew Hope agenda is an agenda the government has put before the people, right?
Okay.
It is the responsibility of the people to compel government to activate that initiative. That is where JDEP has come in. We have told the people there is a platform through which you can engage yourself and make a significant or very high impact.
Yes.
Protest has never been known to produce result most times, especially the way it is done here.
That's never helped
That
at all.
day, as you go out, what have you done? The people who will never be able to eat unless they have gone hawking and bringing 2,000, 3,000. By protesting, you have now removed their livelihood for that day. So what we have told them is, I reached out to their leaders and I said, don't participate in protest, but participate in the economy. Participate in business development. Participate in the real act of empowerment. Group your people, mobilize them, let them register for this en masse. We have given you a platform through YIDEP. No youth can say, I don't have a platform. It's not possible. I am a government, not because I'm an elective official, not because I am a member of the ruling party. No. Not because I want to patronize government, but because the government, as we can classify it, belongs to the people. And I am that anchor. What we have just done by bringing JDEP is to give the youth that link to government. Look, protest cannot bring Gary on the table. But you tell me I can farm.
Social security.
Yes, I can farm cassava. I don't have the money. That's where we come.
I'm in love with this project already, sir. I'm in love with it. Let's continue this. I'm in love with the project already. I can't deny that.
Yeah.
And you said 150,000 in each state at least?
More than Canada, we have over 1 million.
So what's your target, basically?
20 million.
We have 166 million youths in Nigeria as we speak, estimatedly, because 70% of the Nigerians
And then I help you by telling you approximately 100 million of that 166 million are helplessly hopeless.
You said 20 million. I'm looking at the
No, I am saying to you, statistically we have 116 million youths.
Yes, we do.
No fewer than 100 million of them have nothing at all. They survive. They don't have jobs. You see why the radicalization have become what you can say an entrenched factor. Come, an army of frustrated youth, disillusioned, hopeless youth, an army of such a people that have all the latent energy on their inside. When you talk about strength and vigor, they have in excess. If they do not have the platform to contribute their quota through the utilization of such energy, they will devise a negative means of expressing those latent energy on their inside.
So now I think you should
That's
give,
what
I think so I should give them some talk about the president involving you to this movement. You know, it looks like a commendable act.
There's nothing like it looks like. It's the best decision ever.
Okay.
Because as it stands, this is the most visible program of government for youths as it stands today.
Talk about Delta State. Let's talk about Delta State.
Yes.
How far so far in Delta State? That 150,000 you mentioned, I'm also comfortable with 150,000. I'm looking at more in Delta State. After all, this
That's
is a bit
why.
more. How
That's
are you
why.
partnering that?
Unfortunately, I have not been able to. I was not able to send to you our video clips. Now, what we are doing is doing economic engagements. You know, at the state level to sensitize stakeholders.
Okay.
We are coming to Delta, where we will host different people in Asaba here, traditional rulers, religious leaders, cooperative networks.
Okay.
We have NGOs and CSOs, and tell them this is the program of government for youths.
All right.
If you know you are not yet registered, it's free. There's something I want to say before I go.
Okay.
JDEP registration is free of charge. You pay nothing. The portal will be reopened on Monday. In fact, those, as I'm here in the studio, some youths are waiting for me outside.
Okay.
They are youth networks who have sent their leaders to interface with me because they are aware of the program and they want to know how their members can be part of it.
Okay.
Now, it is free. You don't need to pay any money to anybody. We have not started disbursement like a lot of people are peddling that fake news. They are doing that just to be able to extort money from people. When we start disbursement, we shall announce it.
All right.
And I want to thank you for bringing us here. If you are here, listening to me, whether within these premises or maybe watching us from your house or home, the Youth Economic Intervention and Deradicalization Program is a program of the federal government designed to give the youths a sense of economic belonging. What the program does for you is supporting you with the funding you need and the enterprise development skills you need to just create for yourself that small business.
All right.
Thank you so
I'm
much.
going to turn off the mic and thank you so much for being part of the program.
Thank you, comrade.